Welcome to MindSwitch Books. Today, we're tearing down Relentless by Tim S. Grover. This is the guy the absolute best of the best called when they needed that edge. We're talking Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, athletes who had to perform under pressure that would crush most people. But you gotta understand, this isn't really a book about basketball. It's about the mindset that separates the good from the great, from the truly, truly unstoppable, in any field where winning is the only thing that matters. So in this breakdown, we're going to unpack 3 of the most powerful ideas from the book. First, we'll get into Grover's 3 types of competitors, so you can kind of see where you might fit. Then, we're going to get inside the head of the truly unstoppable and look at their core beliefs. And finally, we're going to reveal the most controversial and maybe the most powerful idea in the entire book, the hidden fuel source that powers that relentless drive. So, let's do this. All right, so Grover's first big idea is that not all competitors are built the same. He creates this hierarchy. Now, as we go through these, I want you to be really honest with yourself and ask, which one am I? At work, in my sport, in my life? See, most people aim to be a closer, thinking that's the top of the mountain. But Grover says there's a whole other level, a level most people don't even know is there. First up, at the base of this pyramid, we have the cooler. Now, coolers are good performers. They're reliable, they show up, they can make a great play if the instructions are clear. In an office, they're that dependable person who just gets their tasks done perfectly. They keep things running, but the key thing about a cooler is they don't want the ball in their hands for that final shot. They're awesome setup people, but they shy away from that ultimate responsibility for winning or losing. Next, we've got the closer. This is the person most of us look up to and try to be. The star salesperson who hits their quota right at the end of the quarter. The team lead who delivers the big project on time. A closer can definitely handle pressure, and they deliver when it counts, as long as they're put in the right spot. They study the competition, they get ready for the big moment, and yeah, they love the credit that comes with winning. They're the hero in most stories. But then there's the cleaner. And according to Grover, this is a completely different species. A cleaner isn't just intense, they are addicted to the result, to the point where literally nothing else matters. They don't just handle pressure, they crave it. They feel most alive when everything is on the line. A cleaner doesn't wait for the right situation, they make the situation. They bend the world to their will. A cleaner doesn't just want to win, they have this deep, primal need to completely dominate. And this right here, this slide breaks it down so perfectly. It's like their DNA is different. A cooler worries about the competition. A closer studies the competition. But a cleaner acts with so much force and creativity that they make the competition study them. When the pressure hits, a closer analyzes everything and takes the shot if it's a good one. A cleaner just shoots. They trust their gut, they trust their prep, and they live with whatever happens next. And this last one, this is the most telling part. A closer feels successful when the job is done. A cleaner never, ever feels successful. For them, the win lasts maybe a second before their brain is already locked on the next target. Okay, so if being a cleaner is this rare, ultimate state, how on earth do they think? What's their internal operating system? What makes their mind so different from everyone else's? Well, Grover breaks it down into what he calls the Relentless 13. Basically, 13 non-negotiable laws for an unstoppable mind. And here's the first thing you have to get about this list, and it's actually a stroke of genius. Every single rule is labeled number 1. Why? Because Grover says if you give people a list from 1 to 13, they'll automatically think number 1 is the most important and number 13 is the least. But for a cleaner, everything is number 1. Every detail matters. There are no small things in the pursuit of greatness. Every single rule is rule number 1. Let's just touch on a few of these because they cut right to the bone. You'd rather be feared than liked. Look, this isn't about being a jerk. It's about knowing that respect, which you earn through being undeniably good at what you do, is way more powerful than being popular. People might not like your intensity, but they can't argue with your results. How about you don't recognize failure? This isn't about being delusional. It's about reframing any outcome. If one door closes, you don't just stand there staring at it, you're already looking for a window, a back door, or a sledgehammer. And this last one perfectly sums them up. They don't celebrate. The second one goal is achieved, that good feeling is gone, and their mind is already on the next thing. For them, there is no finish line. So here's the absolute key. A cleaner's drive, it's not about impressing a boss or a coach or anyone else. It is a vicious, nonstop, internal demand for more. They set a standard for themselves that's so ridiculously high that no outside pressure could ever even come close. It's an addiction, not just to winning, but to the constant chase of their own potential. And that internal engine is what makes them unstoppable. Hey, real quick, if this framework is clicking for you and making you think, just take a second to like this explainer and maybe share it with someone you know who's trying to get to that next level. It really does help us bring you more deep dives, just like this one. Okay, so we know what a cleaner is. We know how they think, but that leads us to the biggest and maybe most uncomfortable question of all. Where does this almost superhuman drive actually come from? The answer is the most provocative and potent idea in the whole book. It's the one most coaches and gurus are too afraid to even talk about. I mean, really, think about it. What could possibly make someone sacrifice so much, push through pain that seems unbearable, and never ever be satisfied with their success? What's the raw, primal energy source for being that relentless? It's not positive affirmations, it's not vision boards, it's something way, way deeper than that. Your dark side? That's Grover's answer. It's that part of you you've been taught to hide, the raw, angry, competitive part that just refuses to be average. Now, let's be super clear here, because this is the part of the book most people get wrong. Grover is not telling you to be evil or immoral. Your dark side is your primal, untamed self. It's the anger from when someone doubted you, the sting of a past failure, that chip on your shoulder. It's that raw, competitive instinct that doesn't care about being polite. It only cares about one thing: getting the result. The key is not letting that anger control you, but channeling it into pure, focused, productive energy. Grover's logic here is actually pretty simple and powerful. We are all born relentless. I mean, think about a baby. It screams until it gets what it wants, with zero shame and zero concern for what anyone else thinks. That's pure instinct. Then, society, school, our jobs, they all spend years teaching us to relent. We're taught to be quiet, to wait our turn, to be good, to push down those intense feelings. Grover argues that becoming a cleaner isn't about learning a new skill. It's about peeling back all those layers of social conditioning and reconnecting with that powerful, untamed force that's been sleeping inside you all along. And this quote just cuts right to the heart of it. Cleaners don't fight their dark side. They embrace it, they feed it, they use it. It's the engine that powers their focus, their ability to just shut out all the noise and execute. In their world, they're predators. A lion doesn't apologize for being a lion. It uses its nature to survive and to dominate. A cleaner does the exact same thing in their competitive world. To make this really easy to grasp, Grover uses the classic story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll is our public self, the professional, polite version of us that follows all the rules and worries about what people think. But Mr. Hyde, that's our dark side. It's the alter ego that runs on pure instinct, that thrives in the darkness of the zone and cares only about the result. The huge difference is that a cleaner learns to control that switch. It's not some chaotic breakdown. It's a deliberate choice. It's knowing exactly when to flip that switch, unleash their inner Hyde when it's time to perform, and become completely unapologetically untamed to get that goal. And that brings us to the final challenging question that this entire book leaves you with, a question aimed directly at you. All that natural energy, that competitive fire, that primal instinct, it's not gone. It didn't disappear. It's just been locked in a cage by fear, by self-doubt, by worrying about what other people might think. Grover's work is proof that it's still in there, waiting for you to find the key. So the real question the book leaves you with is, what's stopping you? Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into Relentless. It's one of those books that doesn't just motivate you, it challenges you to look at success, at pressure, and at your own inner drive in a completely new and honest way. If you want more summaries that really break down powerful ideas just like these, make sure you subscribe to MindSwitch Books. And if you're ready to stop thinking and start acting, to really find out what you're capable of when you embrace your own intensity, I can't recommend getting the full book enough. We've dropped a link right in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.